into our Survivor Series review. Obviously, a lot of stuff happening. Let's get into our first match. Let me just make our marker there. Dragon Lee facing Santos Escobar. This wasn't even, but yeah, we'll start there. Obviously the War Games match, but we'll talk about that later. But Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. Dragon Lee filling in for an injured Rey Mysterio, an injured Carlito heading into this match. We all picked Santos Escobar regardless. But what did you guys think about this match?
All right, Louis, you can go ahead.
Underwhelming. That's all. That's really all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't need to say anything now. You just pretty much took the word.
Exactly, because it's like you have you got two great lucha, especially, and like we talked about it. That match with Dragon Lee and Axiom was amazing.
Yeah,
and I don't know. This is why I'm like
2 weeks before.
This is why I don't know. I'm like I head scratch myself with Santos because I'm like he hasn't as far as in-ring work. I feel like I haven't seen anything that really impresses me, I guess. Like, not impresses, but like anything that stands out, you know?
Because
like,
he was playing a babyface for so long.
No, but even in NXT, like, I feel like he was more like, you know, I feel like he's a little bit bigger than you're like an average luchador, but like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was just like, I don't know. Maybe because with luchador, yeah, it's usually the high flying, but like, I don't know, like compared to like Andrade, who has like, you know, crazy like moves like the spinning back fist or like the double heels or whatever. And it's just like for him, it doesn't always, there isn't like something that really stands out for me. So I thought him and Dragon Lee would have just brought out the best of each other. And that's not what we got. It was more just like, just keep hitting each other back and forth. There was like a couple of small spots from the top rope or whatever, but it wasn't nothing that really impressed me. And I was just like, wow, if there was ever a time to shine, it would have been there.
I feel like there were flashes of it, but they didn't get going. The match ended quickly before they got going. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like. I just felt like they were restricted on time, or maybe they didn't want to give it all away.
If anything, I feel like they should have used somebody else. Probably not even use Dragon Lee. Why not use like Axiom or something? Like get somebody else. I don't know. Just because I feel like Dragon Lee has been like on a hot streak with matches, and I think them have this, it's like kind of knocked them down a couple notches. So
I think they were. I don't know what really happened with Carlito. You know what I mean? I don't know
if they took him out or something.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a real like he's really hurt or it's just an angle. But it's like he could have fought Carlito and cheated his way to win. He could have.
It would have been more effective. Yeah.
Apparently, no, sorry to cut you off, Daniel, but apparently, the dirt sheet reports say that this was the plan all along. That the plan was for Carlito to initially be in the match, and then Santos take him out in an injury angle so Dragon Lee can get the spot because they're high on Dragon Lee.
But then they made him lose, and that's the thing. So it's like I can understand if they did something where if they gave Dragon Lee the win and then made Santos attack him and go after him and then get his win back. Set up some type of rubber match, but I just feel like this is the thing, because if Carlito wasn't going to be used, it's like, okay, why wouldn't you use one of the LWO members who are kind of stuck in limbo? But then is that good enough to be on a pay-per-view?
No.
So that's the issue. Santos is good enough to be on a pay-per-view, but one of those guys aren't. So Dragon Lee probably was gaining a little bit more of attention, especially with views and stuff like that. Put him in the match. I thought the match was okay, but I felt like it wasn't the standard, I don't want to say, but cruiserweight match where you get them going high speed, high rate of pickup and back and forth. I just felt like it was a regular standard match, and I'm like, we just saw Dragon Lee do all this stuff. We know Santos Escobar can go, but it's like we just didn't get it in the ring.
Yeah. It's like it almost seems as though that because Santos is officially heel right now, that he was working more of a heel style.
Yeah,
and because he was working that style, kind of counteracted with what we've known for him to do along with Dragon Lee. But to agree with Lewis, we expected something out of this match. We expected we were going to get what we got from Dragon Lee and Axiom, and our expectations were up high, and then this match happened, and it was, like I said, it was a solid match. It just was like below our expectations. We expected both these guys to come out and everything to be like fast paced lucha libre style, and they kind of went with a different approach, and it almost seemed like they were purposely holding back.
That's what I felt like.
Yeah, it was sacrificing great moves for just telling the story, and based on that dirt sheet report about them putting Dragon Lee in, it wouldn't have made much sense for Dragon Lee to go over because Santos just turned, and I mean if Santos is already losing, then what was the point of the turn? But at the same time, Dragon Lee's riding this hot streak, and why should he lose at this point if you're continuing to build him amongst this audience? So it definitely was in a situation where both guys kind of needed the win. But I guess that in this case they kind of went with the story per se, and Santos just turning heel, and obviously he used cheap heel tactics to win the match. Like I said, the match was solid. It's just that we expected so much more, and I think moving forward we probably are going to end up getting a lot more from them. This isn't just going to be one match. It's going to be like 2, 3, 4, 5 matches between the two of them, at least until Rey Mysterio comes back.
They need to just have a rivalry, a mini rivalry. That's all it needs to be. Like they just have great matches, give them time, like 10 minutes in the ring, 15 minutes in the ring.
Anything they can just go back and forth, like he gets a win, then Santos gets a win, and it's like
how much you want to bet there's going to be a rematch of this? Not on this week's SmackDown, but the following week. The following week is SmackDown. They're going to schedule
for sure.
Watch.
It's going to happen. But we'll see what happens with Santos Escobar's heel turn. We'll see who joins up with him potentially. But let's get into our next match. Gunther